Attorney John Cruickshank says negligent entrustment lawsuits are won and lost exclusively on the record. How good are your records?
Regularly verifying your driver's status to operate motor vehicles is important not just for identifying drivers who are no longer competent to operate your vehicles. It's also essential for what we lawyers call building a record. Negligent entrustment lawsuits are won and lost exclusively on the record, showing the paper trail behind what you did and didn't do in determining whether or not that driver was competent to drive the vehicle. As we talked about earlier, negligent entrustment is a timeline that ends at the accident. The record is the paper that you generated long before that. Whether you ran his motor vehicle reports every year, whether you followed up on accidents that he was involved in, whether you drug tested or conducted the physical examinations as required. If you didn't do that, even if the driver was competent, you're failing to establish the record, which is what you need in order to defeat a negligent entrustment claim when it is filed. The absence of the record is more damaging than a harmful record in its place. One of the essential tools in avoiding negligent entrustment liability is centralizing decision making. Even if you decide to outsource your driving to third parties, you'll still need a centralized decision maker to collect all of this information, to review the ongoing data, and to determine whether or not individual drivers behind the wheel remain competent. That's an essential element of negligent entrustment defense, and it's something that you will need because that individual will be the primary witness that will defend your company and provide evidence to the court in the form of depositions and affidavits demonstrating what steps you took to ensure that that driver was competent. The absence of those records or the absence of the type of witness that you need is precisely what the plaintiff's attorney is counting on in order to be able to establish his claim that you did not take the proper steps to ensure that the driver was competent and that you should be liable for both negligent entrustment liability and punitive damages.